Yeah, I told him to make sure he doesn't pivot you out of the play, okay? Hey, you guys make sure you do the same on your pick and roll the same way. Hey, Dirk, remember I told you about that one, okay?
Michael Finley was called for a technical. This was the play that he complained that he was fouled by Stojakovic when he went up in the air, was stripped of the ball, then fouled himself. And Dan Crawford had the explanation for him about that play.
That's all ball.
All ball, Mike. It wasn't even, Mike, you know what? All right, let me talk to you. That's all I want to say. Be fair with me because you know you fouled him. Okay, your play, he hits all ball. Mike, if I think he hits you across the arm, I'm going to call that, Mike.
Take a look at what happened before the last commercial break. Underneath, the traveling call was made here. And then let's eavesdrop along the Dallas sideline.
I read the rule book. If it's a slip, you can go back and get it.
Absolutely.
That's what happened. That wasn't a slip? Oh, I'm not going to do that.
You're right. You're right. You're reading the rule book?
Yeah.
Good, Mike.
In case I can't get one later.
Well, I got to tell you, Mike Finley, first of all, the most impressive part is that he's reading the rule book. Number two, he's right. The ball was a slip. But number three, I think it's the toughest call to make. How can you tell if a guy if it slips or not?
Very.
You know, it was the right call, a tough call.
When we talk about Rasheed Wallace, one of the keys in the game was when he picked up his third foul. Robert Horry drove the ball to the basket. As he jumps, the referee says he hits him with his hip. Gets the third foul. Rasheed Wallace says, "What did I do?" And so the referee told him what he did.
Now you bumped him with your hip.
And he said, you know, you bumped him with your hip. So he told Mike Dunleavy, he looks like he's okay. He goes and he sits down. Now as he's sitting down, there's a stoppage and play, a free throw, and he won't let up. Ron Garretson looks at him and gives him a technical. These are the things that disrupts not only Rasheed Wallace, but his team. If they're going to win this series, he's got to be out on the floor. He's got to be productive. And more importantly, he's got to stay in focus, Bob, with what they want to do.
People whose tempers are not in control and whose tempers ultimately do them in, whether in the college ranks, the pro ranks, or another walk of life, almost always believe they're in the right in a given situation. Almost always believe, well, if this hadn't happened, it wouldn't have led to this. But this guy's got a track record. 38 technicals for a season? That's an NBA record. Pippen to Wallace. Knocked away. Wallace got it back. Scores. Plus a foul.
Now, Rasheed Wallace is going to have to be very careful. Ron Garretson twice now has gone over to Mike Dunleavy and said, look, you better tell him to stay off of us. Here is a little reverse play, and who's over there again? Ron Harper. Now, Wallace with great hustle to get it back, the basket and the foul, but you see him look at the official with tremendous emotion. He has got to leave that alone. He already has one technical. I think they called a delay of game here, so they're giving him every leeway they can to prevent from calling that second technical foul, Bob. They're being very, very fair.
It had been building up to this. Rasheed Wallace has been tossed. Listen to Ron Garretson. He'll explain the reason why.
Timeout, LA. Whack! Get out! Get away from me, Steve. Get away from me, Steve. He didn't say a word. Technical foul, Wallace. He's gone. No, not right. I asked him 3 times to stop staring at me to try to intimidate me. I'm done. He's gone. I asked him. I told him. I have already told Mike twice before to have him stop staring to try to intimidate me. He did it again. He's gone.
Well, Doug, can you get tossed for looking at a guy funny?
Well, I think what's happened, Bob, we talked about it the last 3 minutes of the game that Rasheed Wallace is going to have to stay away from the referees. And I think you said when you have that kind of technicals against you this season and that occurs, you have a reputation. And Rasheed has to understand that. And they kept saying, stop, stop, stop. Eventually, they said, that's it. Now, did he say anything? No. Normally, do you get thrown out for staring? No. But when Rasheed has gone through all this and he's trying to intimidate the officials, they've stopped it. And this is going to be critical to this series. Bob, we've talked about it. Rasheed Wallace, can he do it? I don't know. But that's the major question. Portland cannot win without it.